Star Wars Outlaws is the definition of a mediocre, heartless, mid-tier, asset-flipped, half-assed, unfinished Ubi slop. It's the definition of girl boss, DEI-infested, identity politics-driven Disney Star Wars trash, only the girl looks like a tranny. This game shows you just how little respect Ubisoft has for the people that play their games. This game is a disaster and a strong contender for worst game of 2024. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Drinker here, and today we are roasting a true turd of a game in Star Wars Outlaws. Real quick though, before the video begins, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, all of that good shit. It really does help the channel grow a ton. Please also check out my locals if you wish to support me further. Now let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Initially, I wasn't going to make a video on this game because I wasn't going to bother playing it. It looked like it was going to be awful long before release. I also have a particular disdain for modern day Ubisoft because most of the games that they're releasing are just trash. X-Defiant is probably the only newer title of theirs that I actually like, and they're slowly running that game into the ground as well. My morbid curiosity did get the better of me, however, and I bit the bullet and subscribed to Ubisoft Plus. I sure as shit wasn't going to pay over $100 just to play the game early, or even the $70 to play it when it fully launched. For $18, I still feel like I got ripped off. Now, I did have fun playing this game, but I'm not sure if it counts because most of my fun came from laughing at how terrible the game is. This game's player base is going to decline faster than Ubisoft's stock price, and I expect it to be heavily discounted on all platforms within about a month. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that this game is the definition of mid, but that's too generous. This game needs a lot of work to get to mid. Mid is probably what the game will be after several performance patches. In its current state, the game's probably only a 3 or 4 out of 10, with the potential to maybe go to a 6 out of 10. This of course didn't stop the mainstream reviewers from trying to gaslight their audiences into thinking that this is a good game. IGN gave it a 7. Metacritic has it at about a 75 out of 100. This is straight up horseshit. If you weren't aware, this is them essentially saying the game is mid as well. The average review of games by IGN is actually a 7 out of 10, but even their review got roasted online for being too generous. You know the game is bad when even the shills are saying things like it's not great or it needs a lot of work. This is shill speak for this game fucking sucks balls. To put it in perspective, the game wouldn't even win Game of the Year in 2010. If you don't believe me, the Game of the Year in 2010 was the first Red Dead Redemption. This game wants to be like a space Red Dead Redemption and even rips off the Deadeye mechanic from Red Dead Redemption 2. The official subreddit also banned players that were criticizing the game because, of course they would. The subreddits for Ubisoft games are run by Ubisoft. Of course they don't want anything in there that isn't overwhelmingly positive. The game is a buggy, glitchy mess. It doesn't really look that great most of the time and just runs like shit. There's definitely some cinematic flair. Some of the environments and landscapes look good at times, but it's ruined by just the game's horrendous performance. It is certainly a typical Ubisoft game with more style than substance, but you don't even really get to enjoy the style of the game because of how bad the game runs. There's wildly inconsistent frame rates, light flickering, crashing, blue screen of deaths. Despite having a very good PC, I eventually had to lower the settings substantially and turn on VSync just to try to have a more stable and consistent frame rate. The game is so buggy that early access saves had to be restarted on PS5. Basically, if you didn't update your game, you got progression blocked, but if you did update your game, it bricked your save. Imagine sinking 15 to 20 hours into a game that's not that good and then being told that you have to do it all again. Ubisoft only offered those PS5 players 100 Ubisoft Connect units and a trinket as consolation. The whales that paid for early access essentially paid to beta test the game. These are your best customers and you're fucking them over. To be fair, they'll probably continue to eat up the Ubi slop if they haven't noticed Ubisoft has been utter garbage for a long time now. The actress that they modeled the main character Kay after should be upset. Kay is fucking disgusting disgustingly hideous, but when you look at the actress, she's actually pretty cute. I would be really offended if I was her. Seriously, when you look at her, she's sexy, but in-game, she's a fucking mutant. This is a huge problem in the mainstream gaming space. They take beautiful women and undermine their feminine characteristics to promote satanic agendas. It's all to appease the Alphabet Mafia. You can really tell that the game was originally designed to be a Han Solo adventure, and then they chose to replace Han with, you know, a woman of color for diversity. Instead of Han Solo, we got Ma'am Solo.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
And of course, they had to add the cute animal sidekick. Like, haven't we seen this trope enough? Can we please just stop with this? The character modeling is generally poor and generic. The characters in this game just generally look lifeless with dead eyes. The lip syncing is also horrendous and wouldn't pass for most games on the PS3.
No. You just said every part I could want.
It's actually shocking how bad it is, and it ruins any semblance of immersion. The combat is also comedic. The melee is more effective than shooting your blaster. Yes, the melee is basically a one-hit, including against stormtroopers who are wearing armor. You know, armor designed to protect them. If your armor is so flimsy that you get knocked out by a woman's punch, you may need new armor. I've completed missions by basically just running straight at enemies and punching them in the face. 0 attempts to use my blaster. The combat stupidity is also compounded by just how bad the AI is. I can't even begin to articulate how bad it is. You can knock someone out and the person right next to them won't notice. If you get spotted, you could basically hide right in front of them and they lose you. It's that bad. Outlaws also has puzzles in the game. Ubisoft actually thinks that their players are so retarded that you actually can't fail them.
It does it for you. I'm not thinking, I'm just clicking. Watch this. Just does it for you. And there's no, don't run out. Look, you think that you run out? You think that you run out of tries? Nope. Nope, you're good to go. Look, I'm just clicking. I literally just clicked randomly.
The game also tries to be like Uncharted, except it's completely shallow and soulless and only imitates it visually. Why do so many games have to imitate Uncharted anymore? I like Uncharted too. In fact, I have Uncharted posters in my home behind me, but that doesn't mean that every game should try to imitate Uncharted. This is another trope that should just be dead and buried. This game is an utter disaster of epic proportions and just isn't very good, and it's too bad because there are generally some interesting concepts that just never get fully fleshed out. On the surface, an open world Star Wars game exploring the criminal underbelly of the Star Wars universe seems interesting, but it quickly loses its luster when you basically do nothing to flesh it out. This game is the typical shallow surface level Ubisoft affair, and it shows. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe, turn on post notifications, all that good shit. Comment down below telling me what other types of videos that you do want to see from me in the future as well. Again, check out my locals if you guys wish to support me further in the future. But as always guys, this has been your boy Drinker, and I am out of here. Peace.